Welcome to Lynn Classical Boys Basketball Senior Night on Lynn Educational Television. I'm Afton Dean. And the Lynn Classical Boys basketball team will take on Malden, but right now we're going to head down to the floor for this special ceremony. And welcome back to senior night here as the Lynn Classical boys basketball team is set to take on Malden. And the starting lineup for Lynn Classical will consist of two seniors, Aiden Dow and Tony Palavra, and they'll be joined out there by Jaden Thornton, Jeffrey Barbosa, and Jeffrey Hill Jr. And for Malden, it's going to be Daniel Burhan, Joseph Anderson, El Hamande Kedar, Mervelis David, and Tuzariel. And it will be Tuzariel and Palavra who tip it up at half court as we get underway here at the Lynn Classical Gym. A great crowd on hand tonight. And Malden wins the tip and we're underway. And great defense along the baseline by senior Aiden Dow. And it's going to be off of Malden. Looked like the pass got redirected. It looked like it was intended for Aiden Dow. Fortunately for Classical, they keep the ball. Looks like one of the players lost his glasses. Tosses them over to the sideline. Dow sets the screen, Hill around it, and Hill gets hung up. Wild with the shot. Good job by the Classical defense getting back. Malden unable to do much on the break there. Malden ball here, 23 seconds on the shot clock. Long range three, and it goes. El Hamandane Kadar. Thornton can't answer. And Jeffrey Barbosa wisely throws it off the player out of bounds. I'm not sure he was looking to ricochet it off his head. You could hear it all the way from up here. Hill, strong move to the basket and goes to the floater. Nice drive by Hill. And Malden empty on the break here. Kadar will inbound. Three long. Palavra there with the rebound up to Barbosa. Ahead to Hill. Hill hands it off to Thornton. Palavra thought about it. Kicks it to Barbosa. Good ball movement by the Rams. Really moving the ball on this offensive possession. Shot clock at 10. Hill will make his move. And loses the dribble. And Malden comes away with the turnover. Three ball, good again. Kadar El Mahande. He's got all 6 Malden points in this first 2 minutes. Barbosa, strong move. Can't bank it home. Another three. Different result this time. And Hill. Looks like he got bumped. No call. Palavra with the rebound. Classical looking to run. Ahead to Hill. Dow, the trailer, and they find him. And some free throws coming up for Aiden Dow, getting rewarded for running the floor. And Dow, of course, one of the seniors tonight. Back rim's the first.
Who's new?
Dow looking to make the second here. And he does. Aiden Dow's first points of the night. Malden effectively passes out of the press there. And we're going to get a travel. Good defense by Palavra. Ali Elayan had nowhere to go. And he just checked in the game for Malden. Barbosa will bring it up here. Hands it off to Thornton. And goes to the underhanded layup. Seeing some acrobatic moves from this classical offense here in the first quarter. Courtesy of Jaden Thornton and Jeffrey Hill Jr. Both highlight reel type of plays. From three, and it's good. David Mervilis. All 9 of Malden's points have come off threes here in this first quarter. Thornton wide open look at a three. Rims it out. Dow there for the offensive rebound. And Thornton, little back and forth, results in a couple for Classical, and it's now a 9-7 Malden lead. Dow secures it. Up to Hill. Hill looking to take his man off the dribble. Hill, step back three. Long with it. Malden not afraid to shoot it from long range. And after a hot start for El Hamande, he's cooled down a little bit. Missed his last 2 threes. And correction, it's Kedar El Hamdane. Say that a couple times fast. Hill in the corner, wide open. Along with it, Tony Palavra. Hill got a great look. Palavra fortunate to be there for the offensive board. Hill gets in the passing lane, one man to beat. And nice move by Hill. Hill put the moves on his defender. Unfortunately, shot didn't go. Went behind the back. So it's going to be Classical ball here. 2:44 left to go in the quarter. 9-9 ball game. Into Palavra. And it goes from 3. Tony Palavra. He's got 5 first quarter points. And the 3 goes on the other side. Ali Alahan. Both teams exchange a pair of threes. And nice move by Angel Garcia, who just checked into the game for Classical. Count the basket, and David Mervelis will go to the line, looking for a three-point play. Looking to break this early tie, 14-14. Hill and Thornton will take a quick breather on the Classical bench, and we'll see the first minutes of the night for Brandon Summers and Raynell Nunez, both seniors for the Rams. Mervelis makes the free throw and completes the three-point play. Coach Grassa calling for a timeout. Doesn't look like the officials are going to grant the timeout, but foul's going to go against Malden. They loop it into Barbosa. Dangerous pass. And it gets stolen away. He was not in the act of shooting. It's going to be a non-shooting foul. Malden will take it out with 1:41 left to go here in the first quarter. Back and forth first quarter we go. 15-14, Malden on top. Back rims the three. Barbosa ahead to Garcia. And nice find by Garcia on the fast break. Raynell Nunez running the floor. Near steal by Nunez. And he has cooled off a bit. El Hamdani, wearing number 11 for Malden. Palavra for three, off the mark. Garcia crashing the boards. And we're gonna get a jump ball. Nice job by Garcia, keeping the possession alive for Classical. Summers will inbound. 17 on the shot clock. Palavra for three. Rims it out. Garcia kicks it to the corner. Raynell Nunez. That's good for three. Both teams hot from beyond the arc here in this first quarter. Classical should get the ball back here for one more possession. Pull up, no good. And they're gonna get Summers with a push underneath. So Malden will have a chance to take the final shot here of the quarter, trailing 19-15. And David Mervelis will dribble it out at half court, and Malden will in fact try to take the last shot of the quarter. Mervelis throws it up, no good. Still time on the clock for Classical. And off the fingertips of Summers. 0.6 of a second left on the clock. And that will do it here in the first quarter. So both teams hot from behind the arc. Classical on top, 19-15 after the first quarter. And we'll start the second quarter here on senior night. Classical on top, 19-15. Barbosa comes away with the long rebound. Barbosa has played every minute of this game. Passed too far ahead of Tony Palavra. Both teams come up empty on their first possession of the quarter. And then Burhan Daniel, the senior captain, comes up with his first points of the night. 19-18 game. 1 point classical lead. Summers directs traffic. Summers from 3, and Brandon Summers for 3. And if you don't know Brandon Summers, he is a tremendous athlete. We had a chance to see him on the football field this past fall. An outstanding player and also an outstanding kid. Hill will check back into the game after taking a breather between quarters. Into Palavra. And the floater just off the mark. Nearly got the friendly roll. Pull-up jumper airmailed. And the classical fans letting Burhan Daniel have it a little bit. And we're going to get a timeout on the classical side. So 6:17 left to go here in the second quarter. 22-18, classical on top. And this is a good time to recognize the seniors. Gaziel Espinal, haven't seen him in the game yet tonight. He is a senior. Tony Palavra, Eusebio Quintana, who will check into the game in just a second. Aiden Dow, Maurice Sequeira, Mickey Acosta, and Raynell Nunez. They round out the group of 8 seniors on this Lynn Classical team. So a very large group of seniors, which means only one thing, some big shoes to fill next season. And even if you look at their roster as a whole, the youngest player on the team is, in fact, a sophomore, Jaden Gonzalez. Other than that, it's all juniors, so very much an upper-class team for Coach Grass's Classical Rams. Summers will bring it up out of the timeout. Tipped away from behind. Summers throws it into the backcourt. Hill hands it off to Nunez. Nunez can't bank it home. And Angel Garcia there one more time, battling on the boards. And Classical are going to get another possession this trip down the court, thanks to some nice offensive rebounding by Angel Garcia. Garcia trying to take his man over to Summers. Summers kicks it. Foul before the shot. Nearly an identical play. They loop it into the backcourts. Hill will bring it up. Nice fake by Hill. Shot doesn't go. But a couple free throws coming up for Jeffrey Hill Jr. Rims out the first free throw. Makes the second. Brings the lead up to 5, 23-18. And nice defense, Raynel Nunez meets David Merfilis at the rim. Size advantage inside. Garcia on Merfilis. Quintana with the floater. Lead up to 7, 25-18. Thornton will check in next whistle. Good find underneath. Shot doesn't go. Burhan Daniel will have 2 at the line. And Thornton will check in along with Barbosa, and we'll see Maurice Sequeira for the first time tonight. Burhan comes up empty on the first free throw. One of 2 for Burhan Daniel. Up ahead to Quintana. Quintana hangs, can't hit. Three-pointer doesn't go. Maurice Sequeira up high for the rebound. Had it momentarily and lost it. Malden will get another possession here. And Barbosa going to be called for a foul. The basket will count. And Ali Elian will be at the line. Looking to complete a 3-point play and get Malden within 3. And he does. 25-22 lead for Classical. Lead was as much as 7 in this quarter. Malden has it down to 3. Hill off the dribble to Quintana. Kick it to Quintana. Eusebio Quintana. Fret rims the 3. And Malden, a chance to tie it with a 3. Instead, Burhan Daniel puts his head down, goes right to the basket, and Malden is within 1. Hill can't answer, but Maurice Sequeira right there for the putback. Malden looking to push it. And Anderson Joseph running the floor. Malden answers quickly. Nobody back on defense for the Rams. So now a 27-26 Classical lead. Malden within 1. 2:57 left to play here in the second quarter. And the leading scorers for Classical right now, Raynel Nunez and Tony Palavra, each with 5. Jaden Thornton has added 4 in this first half. And for Malden, it's Burhan Daniel with 7 points. He's your game's leading scorer. Kedar El Hamdani started out hot in this game with a couple threes. He's got 6. So back and forth here. Looked like Classical was going to run with it a little bit here in the second quarter, but Malden has got right back into it, trailed by only 1. Barbosa will take it side out here. Fouls at 6 apiece. nearly stolen away. Nice drive by Jeffrey Barbosa. His first points of the night. Thornton nearly put 2 more home on that possession. Or that trip down the court, I should say. Burhan Daniel answers right back with 2 of his own. Remains a 1-point game, 29-28. Barbosa looking to drive again. Shot off the mark. Rebound to Daniel. Kicks it. No call for a travel. And Jaden Thornton tracks it down, and in the process he gets fouled. And Malden is now over the limit with that foul committed by Ali Elian. So if free throws coming up here for Jaden Thornton, he'll have a 1-and-1 with 1:58 left in the half. And with that whistle, we're going to see Aiden Dow. And Maurice Sequeira will go to the bench. Played some good defense. Scored a couple. Dow sneaks in there. And they're going to get Palabra for the travel. Classical active on the glass here in the first half. And floater goes Anderson, and Joseph puts a mark on that. Malden, first lead of the game, 30-29. And stolen away. Barbosa goes to the floor. It's going to be Malden possession here. Under a minute here, shot clock at 11. Elian looking to take Dow and throws it up with the right hand. He's having a good half. He's got 6. Looked like Thornton was trying to get the ball to Palabra in the corner. Palabra was wide open for a look at a 3. Instead, Dow tips it out of bounds. About a 9-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. 32-29, Malden with the ball and a 3-point lead. Stolen away by Nunez. Plenty of time for Classical here. And Hill to Palabra. Still 6 seconds. Plenty of time for Malden. And at the buzzer, it's Tazriel. And Malden, it will count. No foul called here. So waiting to see the indication from the official. And in fact, no foul. So we will finish the half. Malden makes a little run here in the second quarter, and they lead it 34-31 heading into the half. And 16 minutes left of basketball to play here at the Lynn Classical Gym on senior night. Classical honoring their 8 seniors, which we highlighted in the first half. Classical will start with the ball here, down by 3, 34-31. It was an eventful back and forth first half. Hand off to Thornton, and his pass stolen away as he tries to find Barbosa. So Classical starts the half with a turnover. Not what they were looking for out of the locker room. We'll see what Malden can do on their first possession of the half. And the man with the ball, Burhan Daniel, well, he did have the ball. He had 9 points, your game's leading scorer. And nice dish underneath to Aiden Dow. Aiden Dow, the senior, honored here tonight. Now a 1-point game, 34-33. And pass out of the reach for El Hamandane. So Classical get the ball back, looking to take the lead on this possession. Thornton step back. Fret rims it. Barbosa rips away the rebound. Hill from the corner. Hill with just 3 first half points. Knocked away by Barbosa. Barbosa pull-ups from 3. Nice job by Palavra to keep the possession alive. Kedar El Hamdane opened up with 2 quick threes in the first quarter and has been held scoreless since. And he'll head to the Malden bench. And Classical will have another chance to take the lead. Up 1, 34-33. Thornton from 3. Off the mark. And this game has big implications for the state tournament. If Classical wins, they're in. They have 10 wins, but have elected to play a 22-game schedule this season and will need 11 wins to qualify. So tonight would mark 11 wins if they can pull this out. David Mervelis thought he was in the act of shooting. He thought wrong. Instead, Malden takes it out underneath the basket. Fresh 30 on the clock. And we got a traveling violation. Late whistle. Anderson Joseph called for the travel. And it's been 34-33 for a while now. Malden yet to score in the quarter. Barbosa nifty with the pass. And gonna get a jump ball. Hill met at the rim. So gonna go back to Malden here. And David Mervelis hits it from 3, up to Palavra, and Tony Palavra answers. He's got 10 points on the night. And another senior for Classical. 37-35, and with that we'll get a timeout by head coach Don Nally on the Malden side. So 37-35. nearly at the halfway mark of the third quarter. As I mentioned before, Classical looking to clinch a state tournament berth tonight. And thank you for joining us tonight on Lynn Educational Television. Channel 15 Comcast, Channel 36 Verizon. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel, Lynn Educational Television. Providing you with all of your local Lynn games and other high school and community events. And as I mentioned, great crowd on hand tonight. A lot of families in attendance for senior night. And a lot of student body also on hand. See a lot of girls basketball players in the crowd as they have the night off. And we'll be back in action tomorrow night. And they'll be playing some meaningful games down the stretch, as they need 2 wins to get into the state tournament. And Tony Palavra for 3. Palavra's feeling it. He's got 13. He's making the most of his senior night. And traveling violation. So the ball will come back Classical's way. On top 38-37. Palavra with the hot hand right now for the Rams. Palavra's been left wide open in the corner a couple times. And count the basket. Hill going to be charged with the foul on the way by. His first personal, team's third, and Burhan Daniel will be at the line. And literally was halfway down. Malden on top 39-38. Palavra wide open in the corner. He'll try again. And Tony Palavra. He needs a heat check. He's on a 9-0 run of his own here. Get the ball to Tony Palavra. And if Classical wins this game, they can thank this offensive stretch by Tony Palavra. Palavra off the screen, gonna head baseline, loses the dribble, hands it off to Dow. Palavra showing his passing off. And Barbosa with the steal. And nice aggressive defense out of Jeffrey Barbosa and Jaden Thornton. With 2:40 left here in the third quarter. Classical back on top. They lead at 43-39. And it has been all Tony Palavra in this third quarter. He's got 9 points and an assist coming to Aiden Dow. So fouls at 3-2. Classical has 3 team fouls, and Malden has 2. Malden has scored just 5 points in the quarter. So Barbosa will inbound. He'll directs traffic. Barbosa can't kick it to the corner. Near steal by Barbosa. He's everywhere tonight on defense. Dow gonna get called for the foul. David Marvelis. That free throw has 9 points on the night. Mickey Acosta with the rebound off the missed free throw. Nunez loses it. Marvelis misses the layup. Palavra comes out of a crowd. Thornton, long three, short. Step back, no good. Thornton comes away with it. Up to Palavra. Palavra in the corner, inside to Acosta. Nunez off the mark. And under a minute to play here in the third quarter. And it's going to be off Malden. Jaden Gonzalez will check into the game on that whistle. So Gonzalez, Nunez, Summers, Acosta, and Palavra. Different lineup there for Classical to end the quarter. Pass picked off. Not sure where the foul was there. So Palavra charged with the foul, and it will be Mateo Fontañez at the free throw line. And Malden definitely wins for most challenging names to pronounce. Shot clock, game clock separated by about 13 seconds. Nunez back rims it. Classical up 2. Malden going to try to take the final shot here of the quarter. And instead, Summers comes away with it. Classical's going to get the final shot. And it will be Malden ball, 1.2 seconds. Desperation shot off the shot clock. And that's the end of the third quarter. So it was the Tony Palavra show in the third quarter. He contributes 9, leads the way for Classical, and they lead it 43 41 and reclaim the lead here going into the fourth. 8 minutes of basketball to play here. Classical reclaim the lead in that third quarter. Now on top, 43-41. Brandon Summers will inbound to start the quarter. Palaver with 9 points in the third. He's got 16 for the game. And the reason why Classical on top in this game. And he's going to play some extended minutes, and rightfully so, as he's got the hot hand on offense for the Rams. So we'll stay Classical ball. Gonzalez for three. Off the rim. And that's going to be out off of Mervelis. So it will stay Classical ball. They'll get one more chance. This trip down the court. Summers looking. And Mervelis. Little acting skills there. He did get hit on the arm, but it looked a little bit worse than what it was. So Mervelis will be at the line for two. Makes the first. And on this free throw attempt, he'll have a chance to tie this at 43. And more free throws coming up. Malden active on the glass. So Anderson Joseph will have a chance for Malden to take the lead here if he makes both. Makes the first. Jeffrey Hill, Angel Garcia, and Jaden Thornton will check into this game. And he does. Malden on top, 44-43. Hit Summers, pulls up from three, behind the screen. Summers got a couple threes, he's got 6. Classical ahead, 46-44. And nice dish underneath. Tizreal credited for the basket. Summers, as he makes his way, it's going to be a reach-in foul. So that's a reach-in foul on Anderson Joseph, his first, team's third. Into Hill. Hill looking to take his man. Nice look underneath. Hill to Acosta. 48-46. Back and forth game. And this has been the trend all night. Neither team really able to pull ahead here. And Brandon Summers running the floor. Looked in his rear view mirror. Knew he had a step on the defense. Six minutes to play here in the game. 50-46. And David Mervelis puts his head down. And he was a man on a mission 50-48. Malden back within 2. Malden not going away. Summers kicks it. Thornton in and out. Another good look on offense for Classical. Marvelis thought he got fouled, no call. And a whistle there as Thornton gets wrapped up. And they're gonna call Jaden Thornton for the technical. As he gets wrapped up with Ali Elian. Elian wisely put his head down. Instead, Thornton will be teed up, and Malden will have some free throws and the ball. So that could prove to be costly. Elian makes the first. And makes one. Classical over the limit here, so it means some free throws for David Marvelis. Malden not helping themselves at the line here. Just 1 of 3. Make it 2 of 4 on this trip down the court. More importantly, the game deadlocked at 50 apiece. So Malden will have the ball here. Looking to break the 50 all time. Summers with the steal. And Brandon Summers nearly spun it home. It's going to be Malden ball here. It would have been miraculous if Summers got that to go. Marvelis from the corner. Alian sneaks in there. Fresh clock for Malden. Game still tied at 50. Nearly stolen away. And the official gonna come together here with his counterpart and Classical over the limit, so I'm not sure Malden will take it side out. Marvelis rims it out as the crowd exhales here at the Lynn Classical Gym. Exactly at the halfway mark here. Summers behind the screen. Loses the dribble. And Burhan Daniel lays it up and in. Malden back on top, 52-50. And Brandon Summers, they're gonna say there was no continuation. Nonetheless, Summers will get some free throws. And they're gonna see he wasn't in the act of shooting. Okay. Palavra. Looks like that shot got blocked. And jump ball, thanks to Jeffrey Barbosa. Summers could have easily had an and one. Classical keep the ball here. Palavra goes baseline, and he's fouled. Malden still has just the 5 team fouls. Into Garcia. Summers will reset the offense. Garcia gonna set the screen. And we got another whistle going against Malden. So we'll do it again. Barbosa will inbound this time, side out. Into Summers. Nice handoff to Raynell Nunez. Gets hit on the arm. And he will have a chance to tie it at the line with 3:09 left to go in the game. Costco led by as many as 7 here in the second half. Nunez will look to salvage one and get his team within a point. Misses both. Angel Garcia has the rebound ripped away, and it's going to mean a jump ball in Malden possession. So every possession meaningful at this point. Classical could use a stop here. Elian cut off along the baseline by Palavra. Marvelis loses the dribble. Elian. We're going to get a blocking foul as Elian makes his move. Classical over the limit. Elian gets the friendly bounce. He's got 8 points on the night. Make it 9 and make it a 3-point Malden lead. Make it a 4-point Malden lead. 54-50. Classical suddenly down 4 here. And now Malden gonna try to build a cushion with 2:44 left to play. Malden has outscored Classical 13-7 in the quarter after being down by 2. And it has been back and forth all game. Both sides have this game well within reach. Again, the seniors on the night: Gazelle Espinal, Brandon Summers, Tony Palavra, Eusebio Quintana, Aiden Dow, Maurice Sequeira, Mickey Acosta, and Raynell Nunez. The only one we haven't seen tonight is Espinal. So 8 graduating seniors for the Classical boys. And for some of them, it will be their last home game if Classical cannot draw a first-round home game in the state tournament. Also depending on if they get that 11th win of the season to make the tournament. Pass ricocheted out of bounds. So it'll remain Classical ball, 16 on the shot clock. See who comes up big for Classical down the stretch here. Palavra with a step on his defender. Off the rim and out. Garcia. And Brandon Summers. He's had a really good game. He's got 10. 54-52, Classical within 2. Morvalis from deep. Palavra with the long rebound. Barbosa will slow it down, get it to Summers. And we got a blocking foul. And that's going to go against Alian. Nice aggressive play by Summers. Was looking to send it to the corner. Got fouled in the act, so it's going to be a 1-and-1 at the line. 1:52 left in the game. Classical down 2. 2 big free throws coming up for Summers. And if Summers showed anything on that last fadeaway jumper, is he loves the pressure in the situation. And we see it there. Makes the first. And the next one would tie it. Big free throw coming up for Summers. And Brandon Summers makes both. Summers on a 4-0 run of his own. The game tied at 54. Minute 34 to play. The crowd in the Classical gym calling for defense. Alian banks it home. Classical looking to answer. And Summers' shot looks like it might have been deflected. Classical does not have to foul here. .8 seconds on the clock. Malden looking to make it a 2-possession game here with a score. Summers with the steal. And Reynel Nunez. Shot bothered by the Malden defense. So Malden going to be at the line here. You know, Alian can make it a 2-possession game if he makes both. And makes the first. And blocks out the crowd noise nicely. And makes both. Alian with some clutch free throws of his own. And Malden makes it a four-point lead. And more importantly, a 2-possession game. 58-54. 36.8 left to play in the game. Brandon Summers, he's had a quarter of his own. Should be noted, Classical's leading scorer, Jeffrey Hill, on the bench down the stretch here. Summers has got 12. His latest points coming at the line to tie it at 54. Since then, Malden has responded with 4 unanswered points to make it 58-54. So a big possession coming up for Classical essentially need to score here. So a quick score and a foul. Get Malden back at the line and hopes for some missed free throws. Nunez inbounds it to Summers. Summers will push it up the floor. Summers gonna pull up from three, and Brandon Summers for three. Classical's got a foul here. Instead, Barbosa with the steal. And some late game heroics. Brandon Summers, no shot bigger than that. And now Jeffrey Barbosa, as I said, they have to foul. He comes away with the steal. And Barbosa with a big free throw coming up. And misses it. Still, they're going to call a foul in the rebounding act. So Angel Garcia going to go to the line. So he'll have an opportunity to tie it for Classical. And what a game. The crowd loving it. And Angel Garcia with a chance to make his mark on this game at the free throw line. And Angel Garcia banks it home. And I'm not sure how he did that. I think that's what he's thinking. And makes one of two. Most importantly, he secures the tie here, 58-58. Classical going to have to come up with some defense as Malden has a chance to win it here. Shot clock winding down. And we will head into overtime thanks to some late game heroics by Brandon Summers and Angel Garcia. So we'll have 4 more minutes to play here on senior night. And the camera crew looks at me. They thought their night was over. But instead we got 4 more minutes of basketball to play. And tipping it at half court will be Angel Garcia, who made a clutch free throw to tie this game at 58, and Tazriel for Malden. Those two will tip it up. And tip to Brandon Summers, who also made the three-pointer that got Classical within 1, and he set up that Angel Garcia free throw to tie this game. And Barbosa, count the basket. And Barbosa gonna go to the line. Good start to overtime for Barbosa and the Rams. And home court advantage, a factor right now for Classical. And the fans have stayed the course. Nobody has filed out yet. Everybody waiting for an exciting ending. So Barbosa looking to make it a 3-point lead. And he does. Pascal will dig in on the defensive end. If you're not familiar with overtime, it's 4 minutes. And fouls also do not reset. And as I say that, Malden will go to the line as Anderson Joseph was fouled. And it looks like they got Jaden Thornton for the foul. That's his fourth. And Anderson Joseph makes both. Barbosa brings it up. And wave off the shot. Barbosa will go to the line. Foul before the shot. Barbosa looking to take this game over. And that's what it looks like in his mentality on these first two offensive possessions of overtime. Airmails the first free throw. And misses both. Will stay a 1-point game, 61-60, Classical on top. Tipped away by Barbosa. Near steal by Classical. They had it momentarily. Garcia bothers the shot. Classical with the ball, 1-point lead. And they found Garcia just a second too late. He was wide open underneath the basket. And they're gonna get a travel violation. And I believe in the act, Angel Garcia, looks like his jersey was torn. He's not gonna have to come out of the game. He looked at his coach. Sometimes with a jersey malfunction, they do make the player come out of the game. Not sure the officials saw it. More importantly, Classical with the ball and a 1-point lead, 61-60. Hand off to Barbosa. And Jeffrey Barbosa making this an overtime to remember. He has scored all 5 points in the overtime. And it's a 63-60 game. Classical on top. Special thanks to my camera crew who has worked some extended minutes tonight. And they make it all possible behind the scenes. And they do a wonderful job. All the students at Lynn Classical High School. And our coverage is at the other school, Lynn Tech and Lynn English. All right, so 63-60 game, Malden with the ball. Mervelis backing Barbosa down. Comes up empty. And Classical with a chance to make this a 2-possession game. Barbosa and Summers will take a little time off the clock as they exchange passes. Summers thought about it. Dish to Garcia in the corner to Palavra. And pass behind Palavra, and he steps out. So under a minute here, 57 seconds to play. Malden with the ball. Need a 3 to tie. And Angel Garcia's pass picked off. And then he comes right back with some nice defense. So makes the mistake and then makes up for it on the defensive end. Angel Garcia, gutsy performance off the bench down the stretch for Classical. 34 seconds to play, and I would imagine Malden will foul here. And if you're Classical, you just need to hit your free throws here down the stretch. And not sure if Jeffrey Hill Jr. is injured. He went down hard on a drive to the basket earlier in the third quarter. I'm guessing that's the reason why he has sat for most of the second half. So Classical inbound, it will be Thornton. Into Barbosa. Barbosa immediately fouled. Marvelis contending that he didn't commit the foul. Unfortunate for Malden, as they had some nice trap defense in the corner. Barbosa had nowhere to go. Instead, Barbosa will look to extend the Classical lead. Makes the first. 64-60 Classical. Largest lead of overtime. And he makes both. 5-point lead for Classical, 65-60. And bumped along the baseline. Classical in the double bonus. Malden with a good opportunity to make up some points with the clock stopped. Makes one. Malden has to foul. And they turn it over. So Malden gets exactly what they want. And Classical turns the ball over. And with that, we'll get a timeout on the Classical end. Jeffrey Barbosa leading the Rams in overtime. And he's got 9 in the game. Tony Palavra, a big reason why Classical is even in this game. He had 9 points in the third quarter alone. He has 16 on the night. And he outscored Malden on a 9-0 run in the third quarter and gave Classical some breathing room before Malden came back in this one. So credit Malden, as they have been in this game for all 4 quarters and now overtime, and not going away quietly, as they will have a chance to tie it on this possession and potentially force this game into a second overtime. Mervelis from 3. Wild. Thornton secures it, and Classical will win this game and punch their ticket to the state tournament 65-62. So Classical led it 19-15 after 1. And it was back and forth all game long. It was 34-31 going into the half. And Classical found themselves down in the third quarter, and then Tony Palavra came to the rescue with 3 from beyond the arc. And Classical was able to pull ahead 43-41 heading into the fourth. In the final minutes of this game, Classical was down 4 points, but then Brandon Summers, with some heroics of his own, pulled up for 3, got the Rams within 1, and then Angel Garcia, the unsung hero off the bench, made a huge free throw in the final seconds to force this game into overtime at 58 apiece. And then in overtime, it was Jeffrey Barbosa. He finishes with 9 on the night, and he led the offensive attack in overtime, and Classical able to take this one 65-62. For Malden, it was David Mervelis with 14 points. Burhan Daniel with 13, and Ali Aliyan with 13 points as well. Those are your leading scorers for Malden. For Classical, Tony Palavra leads the way with 16, including 9 in the third quarter, as I mentioned. Brandon Summers with a huge 3 in the final minute of the fourth quarter. Big reason why this game even went into overtime. He finishes with 15. Jeffrey Barbosa with 9. And 5 apiece for Aiden Dow and Raynell Nunez. So a great ending to this senior night for the Lynn Classical Rams. 8 graduating seniors: Gazelle Espinal, Brandon Summers, Tony Palavra, Eusebio Quintana, Aiden Dow, Maurice Sequeira, Mickey Acosta, and Raynell Nunez round out the graduating class of 2020 for this Lynn Classical High School boys basketball team. So Classical picks up their 11th win of the season, and with the 22-game schedule, punched their ticket to the state tournament. So the final score here, 65-62, Classical over Malden in overtime. I'm Afton Dean from all of us here at Lynn Educational Television. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.